Well, now to your health. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this morning we're learning about breast cancer pre-vivors.
Technology in cancer prevention has come a long way, and now there are genetic testing and other tools that can empower people to take action even before a diagnosis. And joining us live to share her story and to raise awareness about the importance of testing is magazine editor and author Meaghan B. Murphy. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here.
Thank you for being here. You refer to yourself as a pre-vivor. Explain what that means.
So in the breast cancer community, there are survivors like my mother who battled breast cancer twice, and there are previvors, people like me who proactively or preventatively took measures. I had a double mastectomy to ensure that I would not have to go through what my mother did.
It's important to talk about that preventative measure and not just the reactive. Of course, reacting is important, but tell us why you're worried about that risk of a breast cancer diagnosis and preventing it, being ahead of the curve and not just always reacting to it.
So I watched my mother battle breast cancer twice. I lost my father to pancreatic cancer. Every woman in my mother's side of the family has battled breast cancer or is currently undergoing treatment. So we had this incredible family history. I also had extremely dense breasts. So I was being hyper vigilant with my screenings, but it would be mammogram upon sonogram upon breast MRI. Ultimately, I did have a lump, which by the grace of God was benign, but it was really at that moment my breast surgeon said to me, we need a complete picture of your health here. And that's when she recommended in vitro genetic testing, which is where I learned that I had a change in the DNA of my CHEK2 gene. I think a lot of your viewers probably know about BRCA1 and BRCA2. Like those, a CHEK2 variation means that I was at higher risk for breast cancer. And when I sat with the genetic counselor and looked at all of my factors, the dense breast, the family histories, this genetic variation, I realized my breast cancer risk was too high for comfort. And my husband and I, whose mother is also a breast cancer survivor, we made the decision that we needed to be as proactive as possible. We have 3 children, and I wanted to be able to get ahead of a diagnosis, make the decision before my body made the decision for me.
Is genetic testing relatively recent, or has it been around for a while?
I mean, I think you need to talk to your doctor. I'm really proud of the work that Invitae is doing. It's really state of the art. I've got this comprehensive picture of my total health. I no longer have to worry about if or when. I knew exactly what I was dealing with. I really got this complete picture of my health. And that was incredibly, incredibly empowering.
What would you say to somebody who, again, with prevention in mind, who is maybe not as likely to go to the doctor, and just needs to take that step? What is this message that you would send to that person of going to go get that checkup?
I mean, you have to take control of your health. You have to be your own advocate. Health is wealth. It's really our most valuable resource, right? And so you have to take charge of your health. And an incredible way to do that is talking to your doctor, having these conversations. You can go to invitae.com to learn more information about this. It's invitae.com. Have these conversations because it is so empowering. I mean, I have this stress just lifted off of me. And I'm now 1 year post-op and feeling stronger and braver and happier than ever.
Obviously, when we talk about breast cancer, we talk about women, but you mentioned a couple of the men in your life and the cancers that they were afraid of. Men can get breast cancer too, correct?
Absolutely. We all have to be vigilant with our health, and we all need screenings. We all need regular checkups. And if you have a family history and you're a male, you absolutely should talk to your doctor and really assess your risks with genetic testing if possible.
Yeah. Meaghan, we really appreciate your time. It's obviously a cause very much worth talking about, especially here in October as we highlight awareness around breast cancer and breast cancer research. Meaghan, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you. for having me.
Of course. And again, to learn more about genetic testing and how it can detect your risk for cancer, go to invite.com. And I also hope you join me in the fight against breast cancer. I am part of the Real Men Wear Pink campaign with the American Cancer Society. So every day through the month of October, I'll be wearing pink to raise awareness of this campaign. Now, the goal here is to raise $2,500 for the American Cancer Society's mission to save lives and take care of breast cancer patients. So you can go to KOIN.com right now to donate. And cancer, it affects everybody. My mom's a breast cancer survivor, and I'm far from the only person connected to cancer. It's impacted everybody's life. So again, I'm wearing pink. I've worn pink ties all week long. Going to continue to do that. I have a couple of pink shirts that are being dry cleaned right now because I'm going to run through them. But again, it's to highlight that research and awareness. I hope you can go to KOIN.com and donate to that cause. My goal is to raise $2,500 to the American Cancer Society.
All right. I don't think you'll have a problem reaching that goal.
Right.
And let's go for more.
Yeah, we'd love to go for more. We'd love that.